This is a bit of a silly video, but hopefully you might find it useful. The question here, in case you can't read my writing, a variable q is directly proportional to p. Write down an equation involving p, q, and a constant k. So it's going to involve p and q and k. It's written strangely, but those are the three. Okay, so maybe you've paused it to have a go in your own time. My answer would be q equals kp. One way of explaining that, let's just make the logo a bit smaller so we've got more space, is it's kind of like a graph. If it's directly proportional, then that means as p increases, so does q. Anyway, we're not covering that here. What we're looking at is what if the question changes. So I'm going to just start changing the question. Okay, what if it says to the square, the square of, what will we do now? Let's make it p squared, because q is proportional. This is where the graph becomes less useful. And I think it's better just to think about it as well. Q is related to p squared. You're just turning the language. Right, anyway, let's do another one. What if it said indirectly? Well, in that case, we need it to be p squared on the bottom, because that way as q increases, p decreases. Because to make it bigger, you have to make the thing on the bottom smaller, if that makes sense. A lot of people don't even bother thinking about that. They just remember indirectly means on the other side. What if it said, what if it said square root of p? In that case, we'd do that. Should we change it again? Let's go crazy. What if it said the cube of p? And let's lose the indirectly. So it's now a variable q is directly proportional to the cube of p. In that case, let's just clean this up. It looks like that. It's not indirectly proportional anymore because we got rid of that. We changed it to being directly again. And you can just keep messing around. You can do really crazy stuff. You could change this to proportional to sine of. And you're like, okay, well that sounds strange, but it must be sin p. So I would say in the exam, brace yourself, just read it, take it literally, and follow the instructions.